5 years and still talking. This is GABNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, it's the Ramble. See that name? It's Alex. That's me, and we go until midnight tonight, Eastern Daylight Time. Hello to you all, and thank you for joining our little happy fizzies party here, and we are glad to have you here. In a moment, I'll have a video that I shot today. Yeah, no, those little videos where I go around the neighborhood. And then a little something special. It's a new toy that my wife, what's her name? Linda? Marjorie. That's her name. She bought something, so I'm going to show it to you tonight. Yeah. But I can't go out there to show it to you, so I had to record it, and then we'll have that in a couple of minutes. Let's go to the let's see here, to the map. Okay, here we go. There's the map. There it is. Every night that number changes. We are approaching 4 million people on the face of the earth who are totally confirmed, and next week are being bar mitzvahed. No, are totally confirmed to have had the coronavirus. 3,937,813. By the time we get on here Tuesday, that's going to go over 4 million. That number right there. See my little arrow? See what it's doing? Okay. Now, global deaths. Oh, not good. Wait a minute. I got to go back down. This thing is just, it goes wacko. There we go. Okay. Global deaths are 276,863 souls lost on this planet. It is, we're a nice little blue marble, and we all live on the same planet together, and somehow we don't seem to be able to get along. And so the only thing that gives us a certain commonality is a number like that, okay? Number of deaths, 276,863. How many of those were Americans? Well, let's go to the map, and once again, out of 1,283,908 people have been totally confirmed to have the coronavirus in this country. 77,179 people dead. And, that president of ours doesn't consider himself culpable for any of that. When you get a president, you think he's going to watch over you, right? But he doesn't watch over you. He just simply, in this case, he just simply does what he thinks is best for himself and for his reelection prospects, and that's all he worries about. He's not worried about you and not worried about the whole thing. Now, he's worried about getting the coronavirus. That's his latest thing, because the White House is now infected. Anyway, back to the map. Spain, okay, 26,299 deaths out of 222,857 people who have it. You got to realize, of course, that we have it because we are a larger country, so we're going to have larger numbers. By the way, look down here. See right down here, this little thing here? See, that's the confirmed, going up, going up, going up. And then it went down. And then it went up, and it went up, and it went up. See, what happened was Spain decided they'd relax their rules, okay? And then they relaxed them there, and then look what happened. That's what's going to happen here. Let's see here. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let's look at our numbers here. See, they just keep going straight up, right? Straight up. And by the way, New York is not contributing to that any longer, because today we had only, I think it was 210 deaths, I think, yesterday. So, we're getting to the point where we're kind of being stuck in a certain 200 range. But I think that's going to go down some more. Meanwhile, the rest of the country is going up. What's the rest of the country doing? They're reopening, aren't they? Well, let's go over to Italy. They had a big problem, okay? And they're relaxing their rules. And as you can see here, they're kind of hitting they hit a plateau here. And they seem to be kind of leveling off a little bit. Let's see what happens to that number in the next couple of days. 217,185 total confirmed cases, 30,201 deaths. Okay, we lead the world in deaths, so we're number one. We're number one. I mean, you're right. For a president who's worried about ratings and wants numbers, man, he's getting them. He's getting them, getting them, getting them. The number that's kind of interesting is Russia, which was not supposedly seeing any cases, is now up to 1,723 global deaths, if you believe them. I mean, because look, this is all Russia, all right? It's the largest land mass on the face of the earth, okay? Larger than the United States, larger than China, it's larger than the United States. You could fit about 3 or 4 United States in Russia, okay? You could fit about 6 Chinas in Russia, okay? And they've only got 1,723 deaths? I'm kind of doubting that, okay? All right, so anyway, oh boy, I hate it when this happens. This thing keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the map. We got France, they got 26,233, again, smaller country than us in size and in population. Germany is at 7,510. Actually, if you look at France, France's number is higher than New York City, but New York City is higher than Germany's number. Brazil, New York's got more cases than them. Let's see here. Turkey, let's see here. That's not bad. 3,689. Well, anyway, that's where we are, folks. That's what the map says, and it's kind of sad. When we go to the U.S., of course, we got that. Let's see, we have a map here that's confirmed, and then logarithmic. I have no idea what that is. And daily cases. Look at it. See what's happened? What happened? It was going down. And now it's starting to peak back up again, all right? And why is that? Because a lot of you out there are not following the rules, and it's kind of sad, okay? All right, that's our map for today. We don't need to do anything more with the map. Oh, what? Something's coming through on my phone, whatever. Let me see here. Phil is sending me a note. What does it say? Union Square at 1:15 p.m. today, Friday. Yeah, it's empty. Okay, Phil, fine. Oh, good. All right. Anyway, that's our look at the map, and I hope you enjoyed it as I do. Anyway, listen. I took another walk out on the street. I do it about once a week. I try not to get out because I'm afraid. I'm really afraid. I'm fearful, and I'm afraid I'm going to get the virus. So I went back out on the street. I had my gloves on, the mask on, and went down because I had to go to the pharmacy to pick up some stuff. So I thought I'd let you see the street a little bit. This is a shorter presentation. It's only about 10 minutes. And then Marjorie wants to show you her new toy, and I'd like you to see it because I'm so happy for her, because she has found something that gives her great joy in this household. I can't seem to satisfy that function, but what she did will. Anyway, I went out today. I took a look at the surrounding vicinity, and I was really looking to see how many people were using masks, and I was surprised to see how many morons there were out there. Okay, let's take a trip. Well, haven't been out in a week. Got to go down to the pharmacy to get some more prescriptions. But I thought I would just have you take a look at me this way. Okay, here we go. First time out in about a week. Got my gloves on. Got my face mask. And we're ready to go. Let's see what it's like out here. It's raining today, so there might not be a lot of people. Oh, there are enough people. There's some people with no masks on. That's wrong. Got some masks. Somebody said they should be passing out t-shirts to people without masks that say, "I don't care about other people." But everybody's keeping social distance. I would hate to think that I'm going to the pharmacy to get myself stuff that will save my life, but getting there, I kill myself by getting the virus. Big fear, big fear. Anyway, what I don't understand is why some people don't wear masks. What I was going to do is surprise Marjorie by going into the fish store and getting some shrimp. But look at the line to get into the fish store. I'm not going to wait in that line. That's a damn sure. I'm sure it's pretty empty inside. Yep. Nobody in there. And this is my pharmacy where I get my drugs. Let's see what the line's like outside of here. Actually, they're letting 6 people at a time. Maybe more. I don't know how many are going and come out, but look at this line. So it's all the way here. And then all the way down the block. How far? Just to there. Okay. Well, I'm not going to the supermarket, that's for darn sure. Marjorie usually goes first thing in the morning, and then it's kind of safer. Anyway, that's kind of my face mask patrol that I'm on today. And it's a little hard to breathe in these masks. But one thing did happen to me is I'm walking down the street, more than 6 feet away from me, but close enough to make me paranoid. Somebody coughed. That's all they did. And I looked over and they didn't even have their mask on. They had it down, you know. Like, I've got my mask, but I'm not going to wear it. And by the way, while you're passing by, I'm going to cough. Anyway. So, that's it from outside. Let's go inside. By the way, look at all the boxes we got here. You know what we do? When we get a box, we disinfect it, and then we let it sit there for a couple hours. Who knows what cooties are on our stuff. And as we go in, put my keys there, and I may as well put my dark glasses there too. There we go. See, I have the M45, or 95, but I don't use those. And Marjorie is doing a telephone, a FaceTime.
FaceTime with
Natasha. Natasha, show everybody the cat. What?
Look at Berta. Look.
There's Berta.
Berta.
There's Berta. She's trying to get out.
She's trying to get out. She's on the window. That's the bedroom window.
That's a silly cat.
That's a silly cat.
Here's our lovely dining room. Isn't that nice? And now we go into the living room, and guess what's new?
I have to put the shoes
I know you're putting the shoes on. I know you have to put the shoes on. Look at these clodhoppers. There are my shoes next to hers. Hardly ever used.
Never been used.
You see, here's the thing. She can't go to the gym, and she goes to it about 2-3 times a week to do her bike training. What do they call it?
Cycling.
Cycling. Well, cycling, but they call it something else. Speed something?
Yeah, spin.
Spin class. So she spends a couple of $1,000s a year on that. So instead, she decided to spend a couple of $1,000s on this. And this company is probably making a fortune right now.
86% increase in their profits.
What?
80%
Really?
increase.
Let's see how she puts them in here. Watch this. And it goes click, click. And then you do the other one. Click. And then she starts pedaling. And then she's got to put in her name. And then she's got, you actually are familiar with the trainer, right?
It's my sorority sister's daughter-in-law is Jen Sherman.
Yeah.
And these are all her classes.
Okay, so put one on and start pedaling.
I just want to do a quickie because
Yeah.
I'm not going to put a class on because we're doing this.
Well, no, but I want people to see how this works. So.
All right, here's a rock ride.
Yeah. Okay. Here you go.
Let me turn it.
Peloton. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. Well, first off, my name is Jen Sherman. Let's get past that. It's Tuesday. We got nothing but rock and roll at 8 a.m. Today, lucky us, 70s rock ride coming at us. My favorite decade for rock and roll music. I've got a great playlist for you this morning and a great class planned out, mapped out for you as well. We'll get that 4-minute warm-up behind us, and then we'll get to it. In and out of the saddle. We've got 4 hills today. We've got fast legs today.
So this is it.
Yeah. Okay, turn her off a second. Turn her off. Up above. Exit. Okay, and then you can go over here to more, and you have scenic rides. And then there's the one that I liked, which was the San Francisco scenic ride. Well,
Golden Gate?
Golden Gate. Oh, okay. This was, well, let's see here. Which one did I do?
Let me get out.
You do this? Okay. But anyway, you get on here, and here's the San Francisco Civic Ride. This is, oddly enough, the route I used to take when I had a bicycle. Wait a minute. View class. I don't want to review the class. No. Edit. Delete. Okay, delete that class. Stop. And delete. Okay. I'm very good with computers.
I see.
Well, here's okay, wait a minute. Let me go back. Let me see here. Start. Okay. Well, these are the national parks, and what you do is if I just want to pedal through, I'll just have the route from on the. What, this doesn't start? Oh well. Anyway, I was going to show you. Oh, I see. I have to pedal. Oh, there we go. You see. And then you've got something like that. And in the one in San Francisco, it's actually the route I used to take when I did my bike ride every day out to the Golden Gate Bridge. So this is the, how much does this cost, dear?
It's about $2,400.
About $2,400. And then you have to pay like $39 a month for the classes. But she uses it, and she's happy, and she's happy. Guess what? That makes the husband happy, doesn't it?
Oh, wait a minute. Show them this.
What?
Your shoes.
Yeah.
Okay, these are Alex's shoes, and hopefully one day he'll get on the bike.
I went on the bike yesterday, and I'm going to probably go on it later today. I don't know. I may or may not. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe the day afterwards.
Well, you should.
Yeah, you should. And look, her hair's gray. I'm living with an old lady. Look at that.
This is almost 7 months in.
You want me to give you a haircut?
No, this is 7 months in.
Yeah. So,
Look.
anyway.
Look,
Yeah, look at that.
look at that.
Jeez.
I'm doing it.
And one of these days, she's going to be able to get someplace and get some highlights or something put in.
Lowlights.
Low lights?
Low lights.
Yeah. So her hair will look really terrific.
On
Do
the
you
top.
like it?
I love it.
You love it?
Yeah, I wish I did it when I was 30.
Yeah. Oh, there's me too.
There you go.
Okay. All right, that's it from our healthy home and unhealthy street where nobody's wearing masks. Anyway, I'll see you later. Okay, bye. Anyway, that's our little presentation for this week. I hope the sound was okay. For some reason, it was a little on the loud side, which I don't understand why. But anyway, it's okay. Anyway, let me turn these the Skype on here. Hold on a second. It takes a little while for it to get going, and then I gotta turn it on so that you all see me as being active. Okay, there we are, and we're ready to take your calls whenever you want to call. You know, let's see who the first one is tonight. It is Brian Neary. Oh man. Brian, you always manage to do it. It's amazing. Yeah. Oh, look at that. There's a sunrise, a sunset rather. Let me see if I can go to that just as a single picture here. There you go. What's that? That's looking out towards where? It's looking out towards the ocean, right?
It's a little bit north of the ocean. So yeah. So just to the left of that is Santa Cruz Mountains.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's also, this is in my office, so it's like right street are the soccer fields. So there's no homes until like they're half a mile away, and I'm gonna live and retire here. And we have my rocking chair in the front yard, just telling kids to get off the lawn and watch the sunset every night.
Wow, that looks great.
Yeah,
that's terrific.
And then when like wintertime, when all the clouds get on the sky and everything turns pink, it's just unbelievable. So.
Yep. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me let me go 3. There we go. And let me see here. We need. Let's see here. Josh Wheeler is calling. Okay. Let me start getting some people punched in here. In this number 2 spot, let's put in Josh Wheeler. Let me see
Josh
here.
Wheeler.
Wait a minute. I don't see. Oh, there he is. Okay. All right. Nope. But didn't push it well. There we go. Josh Wheeler. Okay. Josh. Somebody's got their audio up. Is that you? Who is it? Who is it? Is it Jeff?
No.
Jeff?
No.
I think you've got your sound up. Oh, somebody. Who was it? Anybody? Oh, well. Anyway, let me see here. Where we go? There we go. There's our gang so far. Brian Neary and Josh Wheeler and Charles Wallace and Jeff. And here comes Kevin. Hog Rider himself. That's the name he uses. And let me go here to where do I want to put him? Oh, he's already there. He was in one of those spots last night. The only person that hasn't called that usually calls is Phil, but I'm not. I don't know if I want to answer this. I'm not going to answer a phone call. I'm sorry. Okay, because it just doesn't play well, And people who call the show using the phone, in fact, I may do away with that number, actually, to be honest with you. People who do away with, would do a call with that, many times don't really get to participate in the show in the way that they could participate in the show if they had video, okay? So that doesn't work. Let's see, scuba diver, there we go, there's Phil. There we go. Hi, Phil.
Hey.
Phil's there, and we're ready to go. Guess who died of corona today? That's a pretty large question to ask since, we have had 76,000 people dead so far in this country. A master illusionist, they say. Roy Horn of Siegfried and Roy died of coronavirus.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Was that the one that got attacked?
I think that was the one that got attacked by the tiger.
Yeah.
You know, I think I never could really tell the difference between the two, to tell you the damn truth.
Or the tigers.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I saw that act once in Vegas. Anybody ever see Siegfried and Roy?
Not in person.
What do you mean not in person? Oh, you mean you never went to their show?
Right.
Okay. Well, if you've never been to their show, it was one of the worst magic acts I've ever seen. It really was terrible. And I think it was either Siegfried or Roy or one of them who didn't do anything. All he would do was like point to stuff and gesture, you know. And the other guy was riding the lions and riding the tigers, and basically abusing some wonderful wild animals that should be out in the wild and not in a Vegas showroom. So, anyway,
He ate one of them.
huh?
Yeah. The tiger ate one of them. You know.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He mauled him.
Yeah.
There's a
Tiger
difference.
went tiger.
What?
The tiger went tiger.
Well, listen,
Chris Rock always
exactly. He did what tigers do, okay? He does what tigers do, and then they wanted to euthanize him. I think he didn't allow them to euthanize him, you know? But, I mean, come on. You know, when a tiger does something like that, don't say, oh, my God, that's terrible. It's unexpected. No, that's what they do.
Yeah.
What?
I sat down next to a tiger once, put my hand right on the tiger's back, and somebody was there, said, "You want your picture with the tiger?" I said, "Sure."
I had a cougar in my radio studio once.
Ah, you get a blowjob?
Yeah. No, I had a cougar in the studio, and it was kind of, I think it was either cougar or mountain lion, one or the other. I think they're the same thing, aren't they?
I don't know.
Really? Anyway, because they had this thing called Africa USA or whatever.
Yeah.
In Vallejo, Marine World Africa USA, and I knew the woman who ran it and ran the publicity for it, and she used to bring me animals, and they brought me a puma or a cougar or a tiger or something. So I that was quite a deal.
How do they keep from peeing and pooping in the studio?
Well, that's a little bit of a problem. You just hope they don't.
Yeah.
Because
We've seen it on the Carson show when, you know, animals have an accident on the set.
Well, that was great television for Carson.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
You know, oh look, the lemur pooped on his head.
Yeah.
You know, but listen, those animals will poop anywhere. What was it? Once I had somebody on my show, and I can't remember who it was. It might have been like Randy Savage. You remember Randy Savage, the wrestler, and he used to have boa constrictors and stuff like that. And he brought one in, okay, which was really quite thrilling for all concerned, until, of course, the boa constrictor took a dump. And the fact of the matter is that their prime meal is like rats. And there's nothing worse than the smell of desiccated rats coming out of a boa constrictor's rear end. And so that was our big deal for that. And I went, oh my God, I wanted to vomit. It was just one of those kind of smells that was so bad you wanted to throw up, you know. So has anybody here ever smelled boa constrictor poop?
Can't say I have.
Try to avoid it at all costs. But anyway, so Roy Horn is dead, and no more Siegfried and Roy. They are kaput. You know.
Yeah, these guys have a pool. They have a pool for the famous person to die of COVID-19.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forget one of my friends blasted me something. They say, this is like a month ago. They said they're putting a pool together and you're supposed to guess the most famous person to die.
Actually, could this be maybe the most famous?
I'd like to.
Or there were on Sundays, on Sunday morning, CBS Sunday morning show, They have every week now a segment where they do a tribute to some of the dead people who died of coronavirus, and they include in them sometimes a construction worker or somebody like that to kind of even it out. But there are always famous people in there. But I think Roy Horn has to be the most famous so far.
If you're not a country and western fan.
Well, oh yes,
Right.
Who was
Country western
who
guy.
was that? Who was that, Charlie? Do you remember?
John Prine.
Oh, John Prine, of course.
Joe Diffie.
Who?
Joe Diffie.
Yeah, I don't think either of them were as well known as Roy Horn.
I didn't know.
I'll say that in Nashville.
No, but I'm saying that I would say that Roy Horn was probably more universally known because everybody made jokes about Siegfried Roy than any of those people. But the most famous person who's going to get it, die of it. Well, it's hard to say. But I think a couple of people in the
Trump or Pence.
What? Trump or Pence.
Trump or Pence.
Yeah.
There could be some people in the running, some new people in the running.
Yeah, it's hit the
They're
right
on the list.
I would be willing to bet you that there are more cases than that in the White House. Okay.
Yeah, they went into big description of the West Wing. How there's a driveway in the back side, and they said how everybody's still stacked up there. And Alex, you asked the other night, how are our companies dealing with this? Everybody's spacing out now. Well, why isn't the West Wing? So they still the mask thing, and now this whole going to social distancing. They don't follow any of their own guidelines.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, you have to respect that in a way because they aren't preaching it. So it's not like they're preaching everybody go back to work. They're living what they're saying.
Yeah, well, they're dying. They may die by what they're saying. Right? They may die by what they're saying.
Not for us, but it's okay for you.
Yeah.
Check it.
Yeah, they may die for what they're doing, but the thing is that I've never been to the White House, but I've been told that you think of it as being a very big place, and it isn't.
Not.
It's actually it's a very tiny mansion.
Yeah, it's not as impressive as you would think when you see it in person.
A lot of times, if you see it from the side, they take a shot from the side, and you don't see the wings on it. All you see is really the old building, and that thing is, there are bigger houses out in Jamaica,
absolutely.
Queens.
Yeah. Didn't the Canadians burn it down once?
Yes.
Yeah.
They did.
We didn't learn our lesson.
If Trump gets it, they should say, "Here comes the Clorox."
Yeah.
Want to try the Clorox president?
Here,
Get that shit out of here.
Or let's jam a light up your ass.
Hey, why don't you try some of this? What was that pill
What do you got to lose?
that he was talking about? Saying, "What do you got to lose?" Hey, take it. What do you got to lose?
Alex, what would you tell me? What would you like to take? We'll do one of your theories.
Let's do either Clorox or whatever that Oxy or whatever it was called. I can't remember what the name was.
OxyClean?
OxyClean.
Come on, let's do it. Let's see what happens. Give it to him.
What?
At 1 o'clock this afternoon, I was in downtown San Francisco.
Yeah, I know.
I was doing a measure at the Saks Fifth Avenue department store. And as I was waiting to get in, I looked up Powell Street and down Powell Street and took those two pictures that I sent to you. It is totally devoid of traffic. There was nobody on there. I had never seen that area so sparsely populated as I did today. Now, when I went around the corner to go back to the bridge, the Tenderloin had a lot of people that weren't wearing masks. A lot of them were homeless, but there were some wearing and a lot not. And then as I got back to the East Bay, it was bumper to bumper traffic. I couldn't believe the difference between the East Bay and San Francisco as far as the lockdown. And,
why do you think that is?
I don't think the East Bay is obeying the shelter-in-place rules.
Or do you think that maybe there's an idea that the problem is really in San Francisco and not in the surrounding areas?
I don't know what the number of cases are in San Francisco or the number of people that may have died, but I'm just very, very surprised at the difference between the compliance in San Francisco and in the East
Well,
Bay.
I got to tell you, the reason why California has so few cases compared to a lot of other parts of the country and compared to New York, there are two reasons why it's better in California than it is in New York. Number one, when they first heard about the coronavirus, started closing everything down. They didn't wait for the first case to happen. They closed everything down.
They closed down the bars first.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of stuff going on in the Castro where they closed the gay bars, and they weren't very happy about it.
Yeah,
It was like the AIDS thing all over again.
Well, the gays have never known what's good for them. And please don't get mad at me when I say that, but if you go back and look at the history of the AIDS crisis in San Francisco, it was gay groups and the gay publications that were fighting against the closing down of the bathhouses, which is the place where AIDS was being spread like crazy. And they actually got the health commissioner, or whatever his title was, kicked out of office because he wanted to close down those bathhouses. And the publications fought him tooth and nail because who were their prime advertisers, the gay newspapers? The bathhouses. And so, this is a case of that same thing coming home to roost in a way, where if they were complaining because, we're closing them. Listen, whoever did it was trying to save lives, okay? And that's the only thing they're guilty of. But I remember that story, and Randy Schultz, who died of AIDS and who was a great reporter and reported on this whole thing, told me about that. And he said it was the biggest lapse in judgment of any group. Here they are complaining they're all dying of AIDS. What are we going to do about it? And then when somebody figures, well, we got to close the bathhouses. We don't want to do that. How am I going to get laid? Literally, he was thrown out of office. Mervyn Silverman, I remember his name. Yeah. And it reminded me of a play by Ibsen called Enemy of the People. And it's all about a doctor who tries to tell the Jews in this town, the bathhouses are causing you to get ill. And so they literally make him an enemy of the people. It's what the play is all about. All I could think of was that it was just living itself out in real time, because Silverman was being literally thrown out of office by people who didn't want him to close down the bathhouses. So, people don't know what's good for them.
Did they think that they were using condoms and they were being protective, or they just didn't believe it at all?
Oh, they knew they weren't using condoms, and they were in there getting high on what are those poppers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they amyl nitrate. They didn't have any sense of judgment. Okay. And that a guy, there was one guy, I saw an interview with one guy who says, they're closing down the bathhouses. You know how many people I fucked last year in there? And they said, how many? They said 300.
Oh, shit.
And you say to yourself, well, to begin with, your ass must be really tired. But
people, if they're on the other side of the glory hole, it could be a donkey.
Yeah.
It could be what?
A donkey. They had these. I had a kid that worked for me.
Bill knows too much.
Yeah, he used to go to the bathhouses, and he would tell me the stories. And he liked the glory hole. Now, the glory hole was a hole in the wall where a guy would stick his member through, and there'd be somebody on the other side that would satisfy that member. And
in one way or another, yeah. But the point is, the point is that when you hear somebody say something like that, you go, "Hey, listen, that's a lot of people that you had sex with in there, and you multiply that by all the people that go in there." And my argument about AIDS is that the reason it was especially dangerous is it was guys having sex with guys. Guys having sex with women were always well, I don't feel like it right now, or I might get pregnant. They were always, you always had to kind of work at it, But when it's guys having sex with guys, all caution is thrown to the wind. Everybody's having sex with everybody else, and it's guys' libidos with guys' libidos. So, I mean, I know none of you guys here are gay, or I assume none of you are gay, but imagine if you were, and with the kind of libido you've had in your lifetime, and other guys having exactly the same libido, imagine what would happen in those bathhouses.
If you can't get laid gay, you're really fucked up.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I'd say that's true. But and it's sad that I went out today and I was surprised at how many people, they had masks, but they were wearing them down here. They weren't wearing them across their face. I think it's like they had them down here just in case a cop came by and they could go Yeah.
Well, I wish I had the time and a decent lens and camera with me to sort of document the difference between those that were wearing and those that weren't, and those that weren't socially distancing. And you know how in the middle of Union Square there's a park, a grassy knoll, I guess, and there's a guy standing there in his underwear, putting on a like a maid's what do they call those things? Like a tutu, but just in the front, and and he's wearing boxer shorts, and he's just standing up against a tree. So I think that he was doing something else. It was amazing what you saw there.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, I just don't understand people throwing caution to the wind. Okay, and I go out. I'm worried. I come back. I go, I hope I don't have it. I hope I don't have it. Come on. I didn't. What did happen is I'm walking down the street, and one guy who has got a mask, but he's got it down here, coughs. And luckily, I was about 12 feet away from him, 9 to 12 feet away from him. But I'm going, I bet he just coughed to make me nervous, But I mean, it's that kind of paranoia that you get, and it's terrible.
I'm trying to think of what the hell I'm going to do. I'm going to take a week off from Memorial Day Monday through the Friday. Mm-hmm. What is there to even do besides you just got to hope the weather's nice? And I would
say it's a big weekend. Okay, Memorial Day weekend is a big weekend, so I would suggest you go out and stand on your lawn.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do. I was thinking. I said to my wife, we can hopefully get some nice weather, put the top down on the vet, and go take a day trip.
Well, you could take a ride.
Just a drive. Yes, we have the Shenandoah Mountains here. I could go up and down Skyline Drive. Yeah. That's all beautiful and nice for 12 minutes. And then you're like, yeah, wow, look, another beautiful view. Now what?
Yeah.
What do you do?
See Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff.
Sorry about that.
Yes, Jeff. Muted. Jeff.
Last week, we took a nice weather, and we get in a car and we just drove for, I don't know, a couple of hours and turned around and came back and never got out of the car, never went to any restaurants or anything like that. But it was kind of a nice thing to look around, and that's all. And but that was how many times am I going to do that?
But the thing is, you can't even say, you know what, let's stop and we'll have a nice meal at the restaurant, right? You just got to turn around and come home.
Go to Florida. You can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Like we were going to take my mom out today, but it rained, so we may take her out tomorrow to Brooklyn. Just drive
around.
A picnic.
Well, Josh, how's everything out in your area? I mean, are you infected?
Not that I know of. It's pretty status quo other than that.
Other than
Same
that.
as it was.
Mm-hmm.
You see the coronavirus toes?
The what?
Have you seen this?
Halloween candies?
No, there's an actual report of this, how it affects your feet. Coronavirus, I saw it on CNN.com. They showed pictures of these toes that are all red and like raw looking, and it's from coronavirus. It's something new they're finding now.
Yeah,
they're finding out new
things too. They're getting rashes.
Well, they got that. That's the kids are getting these rashes, which
multi symptom something.
but
or
it's
other,
it's something. It's Kawasaki's disease.
Yes, Kawasaki's.
Yeah. You know, I mean, this is a gift that just keeps on giving.
Yeah, this is scary. The side effects.
You know, I wish one night we would come on here and we wouldn't have to talk for the whole night about this. Just like
We're
they
all
were
just amazed by it.
you know, and yet we have to talk about it because what else do we have to talk about? What?
Seen any good movies lately?
Seen any good movies lately? Exactly.
Can't talk about sports.
What? What'd you say, Phil?
Brian, he's got his hand.
Oh,
up.
I got him. Everything's tiny for me now here because the more people I put on, the tinier my picture gets.
You know, this was my job at Camel. You know, take line 1, take line 2.
Well, that's your job tonight. Yes, Brian.
They say drive-through graduations, celebrations forbidden in Santa Clara County. So all these graduations and these so we do a cruise every Saturday morning. There's almost 100 cars last week, and we go up to Kevin will know, we go down to like San Martin, and we go up Hecker Pass and turn around the Madonna, the restaurant up there, make a U-turn and come back down. Really nice.
There's really a place called Pecker Pass.
Hecker, Hecker Pass. Hecker, not Pecker.
Oh, Hecker Pass.
Hecker too.
Okay.
So now they're saying that they're going to be banning these, and then all these kids, they're doing like drive-by birthdays and stuff like that. I hear they're not going to enforce it, but
why would they do that? Why?
Because Garcia got pissed off because the police chief got pissed off because he says we're letting the prisoners out of jail. Now we're going to allow these caravans. And he was pissed off because the police and the fire were getting involved in them and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He says it doesn't make sense if we're letting the people out of jail and now we're letting people do all these caravans for birthdays and everything else. So he says I'm going to put a stop to it.
Oh,
Los Gatos Police Department, for instance, has led dozens of special driving birthday celebrations for children in the community since the county's in place. So you're right. The police have been going through this.
And they've been doing it for the nurses and doctors and everything else too. And he said, once it all stopped.
Vernon, how's everything?
Even for the nurses.
How's everything?
Even for the medical.
Yeah. By the way, turn on a light there, Brian. You're getting dark again. It's getting maybe that time of the evening. Vernon, how's everything in your neck of the woods?
Well, Kentucky is still doing better than the surrounding states. I know that.
Yeah. And are you still kind of stuck in place?
Yeah, the governor is talking about doing a phase 1 starting next week. But it's only going to be manufacturing, construction, things like that. And you do have to follow guidelines even at that. So.
Yeah, well, on the 15th, our governor's pause order elapses, and he said he's going to decide what to do then, and he may reopen the upper part of our state because he feels, as he put it, he said the difference between the upstate New York and the city of New York, it's like they're two entirely different states, with two entirely different set of rules. He said, if we see that things are going down there, we'll like slowly turn the valve on with construction, things like that. He said, I seriously doubt we're going to be able to open up the valve in New York City. He said, we're not ready for that yet. But he said, he believes in doing this very slowly, and if you see an uptick in cases, you back off. You turn the valve down.
You're still seeing 200 plus dead a day.
That's a lot.
That's crazy.
We were 210 today, and I looked at Marjorie and I went, isn't that wonderful?
Right? But that's still 200 people a day losing their lives.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I would like to see that number get down to 1, And I think we will see it go down to 1 eventually. But the question is, how easy is it going to be for this thing to just ramp itself up? How's everything in your part of the woods, Josh? Is it a problem or what? How big a problem is it?
No, I haven't noticed anything really. I mean, I don't think the cases are out of hand or going up or anything.
Yeah.
Everything here's pretty normal. I mean, there was a lot of cases, but
yeah.
I mean, I haven't noticed anything. No one's really been paying attention, so everyone's working basically.
Yeah. By the way, we've been joined by Bree. Hello, Bree from Malaysia. How are you? Yeah, good. I don't know if we can take any more people, folks. If you try, I can maybe try and put you on, but
we should have a royal flush then.
Oh, really? Yes, we should have a. Is this a royal flush?
Yeah, it looks
is
like
it really?
Oh,
okay. Well, thank you very much for telling me that. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, my company would like everybody to wear masks now, so you know, no one gave a fuck for the first 3 months, and now that the shit's about to be over with, they'd like for you to wear a mask. So they seem to care all of a sudden, but other than that, I mean, pretty much been the same as it was before. Everything's just harder to do because it's more inconvenient.
You sure they're not just tired of looking at each other's faces?
Could be.
No, I wonder if I should do this so that when people can see the person talking larger than when we just have everybody in a small space, I can put this screen on. That's Josh, by the way. I mean, the White House today finally decided it was a good idea, right, for everybody to wear a mask.
Really?
Really? You finally figured that one out?
Holy shit.
It was funny that they held up Pence's flight for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And they held it up for an hour and they let him take off. Now, last year, they held it up for an hour because of a drug dealer that was going to be at his destination, and they decided to cancel the flight altogether.
Oh, really?
So what the hell's the difference?
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. What is this? Oh, well, I thought that I could get you on, but
kind of an incident or something.
Yeah.
So it's like talking out of two sides of their mouth.
Well, it's Pence's what somebody worked very close with him, and she was
press secretary.
Press secretary. She was dealing with the press and everybody else, and when they found out, they threw her off the plane. Not while it was in flight, but they threw her off the plane.
She wasn't on the plane. She wasn't scheduled to be on the plane, but they had staffers that had been in contact with her, so they pulled them off.
Wow.
But they have one picture of her, and she's talking to the press, and everybody in the press has a mask except for her.
Right. Saw that.
Oh my God.
They decided finally, gee, we have a great idea. Why don't we all start wearing masks? Okay? Sounds like a good idea.
Novel idea.
Novel idea.
Maybe Trump.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying was like, my company wants everyone to wear masks when they work now. And they got quite a bit of pushback, from, people who don't want to do it. And they're like, well, we don't have any choice. This is a government order. And then what do you do when you get people who say, oh, okay, it's a government order, except the President of the United States apparently doesn't have to wear one. The Vice President of the United States doesn't have to wear one. And half the members of Congress don't have to wear one, but I have to fucking wear one? What? Sitting at my desk and I mean, give me a break, I mean, that's the problem with that kind of stuff.
Vernon?
Well, here's the thing that people are losing sight of the fact, and that is wearing a mask doesn't prevent me from getting coronavirus.
Right.
Wearing a mask says I care about you. And people get confused about that. Wearing a mask says I care about you.
Yeah.
But Trump doesn't care about anybody but himself,
That's
that's why he doesn't want to wear a mask.
Well, he's not alone. He's not alone as the only American who feels that way.
Why wouldn't the
Absolutely.
stop spittle from from you inhaling the vapor or something from somebody with corona? Why would it only protect others and not you from wearing when you wear
It's
it?
carried by
most of the
droplets.
face
You
most
can't
of the
spit
face
a
mask
droplet through your mask.
most of the face masks do not block those kind of particles. They will not block it. It will not prevent it from getting to you. But It will stop saliva droplets that are flying through the air.
Wait a minute. Here was the theory. Here was the theory about the mask. The mask is not particularly 100% good at getting every particle that comes your way, but if you're both wearing masks, you're protecting each other. In other words, the protection is better that way. But
somebody spits on your mask, the virus can get through. But if you spit on your mask from the inside, the virus doesn't get. I mean, the virus is not going to travel 12 feet in the air.
Yeah.
But you don't think some of the I don't know what it is, vapor or particles of moisture from someone in the room coughing, so that they can? I understand they can travel 23 feet. You don't think that the person wearing a mask would be safer than the one that isn't? Maybe
I don't.
It wouldn't stop it, but like those N95s and the heavier ones.
The N95s don't work any better than the surgical mask.
Are they tougher to wear? I had just a regular surgical mask on for the first time because I haven't been out. Last week when I went out to the store, and my glasses fog up when I walk. When I'm in them, is that so? Those N95s, are they more dense? And you're breathing in your own hot air, and that's really uncomfortable.
It is
not comfortable.
Plus, technically, an N95 has to be form fitted if you want to use it right.
Well, how do you form fit it?
You have to
shape on your nose.
Well, the N95 is not what's the word I'm looking for? The N95 is supposedly not that much better than the other one, than the surgical mask.
It's certified to take 95% of the particulates out.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
But
and it has to be fitted because we used to have to do that for our respiratory program.
Yeah,
and that's all they are. They're just certified for 95% of the.
So how do you fit it?
Workers are wearing them, and that's the one that they want.
That's not true exactly. It's not true exactly, Phil. Hospital workers, many of them wear the surgical mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on the environment they're going into.
Yeah.
They'll wear surgical mask in the hallway, but if they have to go into a room with somebody that's live, they're going to wear an N95 or something more.
Yeah, and a shield maybe.
The reason the N95s are so valuable is because they need them in those kind of environments.
Yeah.
And that's been
in the beginning. They were used up for everything. I got N95 downstairs.
Yes, well, Josh.
Like Rob was saying, that was kind of the issue with a lot of the people, in my workplace is, you already have to wear the long sleeve and long pants flame retardant uniform, which is heavier material than most uniforms. You've added this mask now. You have to have the safety glasses with the foam insert so nothing can get through. And then you wear the mask. Your glasses do nothing but fog up. They bought every kind of safety glasses in the world. They all fog up in 20 seconds, and I've heard every anecdotal thing you can do to them to make them not fog up. And I mean, believe me, there's 300 people working in there that have all tried it.
There you go. Anti-fog.
Wear a hat. I mean, we look like we're going to fucking space. I mean,
yeah. You're bringing back nightmares of my job. Oh, Josh, that's exactly what we used to go through.
Cycle. You gotta defog your goggles and stuff to keep. But I'm wondering whether I should wear my motorcycle goggles,
That's what I use for a mask is my motorcycle face, thing.
The balaclava like thing.
The one that comes over your face,
Bree has his hand up. Bree.
One of the things that this does is it reminds you not to touch your mouth. Because if I have this on and I touch a surface and I go like that, then I'm more likely to get it. Or if I go like that. But with this on, it reminds me, don't touch your face.
How many of you?
That's one of its advantages.
How many of you, when you're going out, wear gloves?
Oh, I do. Yeah,
I do.
I don't anymore. I used to.
Actually, when I was in Union Square today, I had to touch the elevator in the Union Square garage and a couple of other surfaces. So I finally got in the car. I took the gloves off and threw them away.
Actually, I like the gloves. Actually, I stole these from a hospital. Every time I went, they just fell apart on me. Every time I went into a hospital, and I saw they had them, I just copped a couple, And so I have a whole supply of them. Although Marjorie also bought some as well. But these broke on. This one broke on me. Look at that.
Yes, sometimes they break on my thumbs, Alex.
Well, also I think I took these from the small size thing. So, but anyway, we have some. Marjorie bought about 50 of them. So,
doesn't Phil have some scuba diver advice, like how you keep your mask from not fogging up?
You spit in it, but you've got the salt water, so you use spit.
Yeah, but you're talking. Yeah, you have spit on your glasses. That's what you've been doing.
I gotta try that.
Some anti-fog stuff for my
You know what I found is bad about what I hate about the mask. To be honest with you, what I hate about the mask is that I find that I kind of get out of breath after I walk for a while with it on. Yeah, because it's harder to breathe. You're not getting as much oxygen in as you would normally.
You're trapping in your CO2 is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Is that what it is?
Yeah, you're trapping CO2 and you're just breathing it back in.
No.
I read something today about masks can cause other respiratory problems. I don't know if I can find the article.
Listen, Phil, it can cause respiratory problems, but I hear that you can get very bad respiratory problems from COVID. Okay. So we can't do the mask because that gives you respiratory problems. Yeah, well, COVID does too.
Ventilators will do it too. They stretch out your lungs, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
I just hope some of these guys that work with bad breath realize that it's coming from them.
Yeah, there you go.
And what do they do? Take a Tic Tac or something, and put it in the mask?
I don't know.
Then they've got to find out. They got to smell their own breath. So, I know I got a friend that's got bad breath, and I've never said anything to him.
Hey, Phil.
Yeah.
Phil, you got a CPAP? You got a CPAP, don't you?
Yeah.
Have you ever had garlic in a CPAP night, and the next night you remember what you had the night before? There you go.
My garlic days are over.
There you go.
Didn't they say they could use CPAP machines as ventilators if they had to?
Yeah.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I had an extra one I was going to send to Elmwood. Elmhurst.
Yeah.
Elmhurst.
Elmwood.
Boy,
Elmwood.
Elmwood. I get that joke.
Elmwood's a jail out here.
I'm glad I never had to use one of those.
Just like America,
Yeah.
Just like America. If you want to check into the hospital, bring your own shit.
Yeah.
I'm here with my own
Bring your own fucking ventilator.
Yeah.
Especially if it's Kaiser, right?
And then you pay a court fee because they're going to charge you for you to use it there.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't use theirs, so you got to pay
the court fee.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Anybody think we're going to get the $2,000 payment now?
Huh?
I'm hoping. I'm still waiting on my first check.
Oh yeah, the Democrats want $2,000 a month.
Oh, let's get that one. That's going to be good.
Huh?
Shit, nobody will go to work.
Sounds like Andrew Yang all over again.
Yeah.
Oh, true. Free money.
Well, I often said that we should probably pay people not to work because there's so many people looking for jobs, and so there's so many jobs that aren't available for people. So if some people don't want to work, they just want to be bums, but pay them to do it. Don't come to work. Let somebody work who wants to work.
Called farmers.
Yeah, called farmers.
I thought they're called senators.
Senators, congressmen.
You know what they're saying? Since the older people are the high risk, then you know what they should do? Why don't they just roll back Social Security to like 60 years old or 58 and let them collect full now and take them out of the workforce?
Listen, I've been yelling for years that they keep raising the Social Security year when you can get it. I think it's up around 66 now. And they really, when all along, they should have been lowering it because try and get a job when you're 60 years old.
Yeah.
Just try. You go in and this 25-year-old person in HR at the company looks at you like you're from outer space.
Yeah.
Welcome to Walmart.
In 5 years?
Huh?
Job at 60, Alex?
What?
Didn't you get a job at 60?
I was very lucky. I kept working until I was 74.
Yeah.
And then they found out I was 74.
I got the one I have now at 59.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
I was 59 when they hired me.
Yeah. That's very rare. You
yeah,
know,
he doesn't have to color his hair. He looks about a 45, you know.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of hair.
Yeah.
I got my clippers today.
Oh, did you use them?
Not yet. Not yet. Does it look like I still used them?
Well, you had the hat on. So.
I guess they're pretty easy to use, right? She just goes
Very
simple.
Do it live. Get Marjorie out here.
You should do it on GABNet.
Ready to use
She doesn't want to stay up this late. She doesn't want to stay up this late.
Manscape with the same clippers you use on your head?
What?
Are you going to manscape with?
You know something? I got to tell you a story, and I don't want to be too graphic about this, but as I've gotten older, I have less pubic hair.
Really?
Yes. I don't. I have barely any hair under my arms now. Some, a little bit, just angel hair. That's about it.
Ears.
But it's just no. It's gone to my nose. And in my ears.
That's a mustache, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I shaved today because I took a shower today for the first time in a year, and I shaved today, and I kept thinking maybe I shouldn't shave. You know, I should do like look at Bree. Bree's got the indoor beard. You know, a lot of the people my wife works with, she does little meetings with them on Skype and on FaceTime and Zoom, and they're all growing beards because they got nothing to do. You're sitting around the house. Why do you have to shave?
I don't see how you guys do it. You know, 1 week, maybe 4 or 5 days of growth, I start playing with a little bit that's under here with my lip and things like that. I can't stand having the face hair.
Go another week and you won't mind it.
Yeah.
It's right at that week to 2 weeks that you mind it.
Do you know we're the first people in the world that grow beards the minute they don't have to work?
Women?
No, TV people. TV guys are on TV. They don't have to work.
You're right.
They meet. Look at what Letterman did. He went nuclear. You know.
That's funny.
But I mean, it was always a thing that after a couple of weeks, if you're not going to work for a couple of weeks, every day you've had to shave because you had to go out and do that TV show. You know, you had to shave. And the minute you don't have to, that's the last thing you want to do. I mean, how unpleasant is shaving anyway?
Oh, I hate it.
You know, like Rob.
It's a novelty for me because I have had a beard my whole life.
Yeah.
Then I made it a goatee.
Yeah.
And so for me, having to shave my whole face is a novelty right now. I do it in the shower. I got one of those shower mirrors, and
yeah, but aren't you getting tired of it? I mean,
no, I really like
a rather
being clean-shaven
it's a
now.
rather torturous thing. I mean, you're running a blade over your face. You know, in my lifetime, razors. See, we found something else to talk about. Razors have caused me.
I'm a member of Dollar Shave Club.
When I was a kid, the first razor I ever used was one of those that had a blade, and you drop the blade into the thing,
On the
and
top, and then you screw it,
and then had to shave with it, and then you would take little pieces of paper where you cut yourself, and you would put them here.
Yeah.
And somebody once said, you know, after you were through shaving, you'd look at the floor, and there were a whole bunch of little Japanese flags down there.
When I was a straight razor.
Yeah, but
then and you have a leather belt.
Then Gillette came out. I think it was with the Exacta. It was the first one that had a blade that was kind of really nicely honed, and it didn't.
The Aftra.
The Aftra. Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Aftra.
AFTR, the Atra, right? Aftra is the union.
Yeah, Atra, the Atra, and but it still cut your face. So then they came out with 2 blades, and so Saturday Night Live did a parody and said, "We have 3 blades, but for even a smoother shave, we've got 4 blades. Well, for even smoother shave, we got 5 blades," and we all laughed our heads off and thought it was the funniest thing they ever did on Saturday Night Live. How many blades do we use now?
Yeah.
5.
Something.
Yeah.
5 is the minimum.
And actually, Gillette has gone back to 2, is it, or 3? There's a new one they've got that they say will just not cut you at all. It's for rough faces and stuff.
Alex, I found you cannot go backwards with blades. I use a 5 blade, and every once in a while, if you get into a hotel late and you forgot your razor, we'll give a big razor with one blade in it. And it's like you're a cutter, you know.
Yeah. Part of that I think is because they're so light. Like I find that the handles, the ones that weigh more, it seems they're easier than the big shavers are like plastic, flimsy, and it really is harder to pull through your beard. It seems.
In the 70s, that's all we had, and they worked, and we lived with it. But now I can't go back. I got a razor that's got a vibrator built into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one too.
Bet you do.
That's why I'm sorry that I can't shave my pubes
You bored
anymore.
with this one?
No,
I'm gonna go get something to drink.
I trim all the time.
You trim
I trim once in a while.
Well, I now how many of you I do this. How many of you actually shave in the shower?
I do.
And do you use a mirror?
Yes.
I don't. I don't use
I have one of those mirrors you fill with the water.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Keeps the temperature so it doesn't fog.
Yeah.
Comes with a little squeegee. You squeegee
Comes
down.
with a little
Comes with the squeegee so that you can get a little water off of it. Yeah.
I've gotten so good with shaving in the shower without a mirror that I don't have to worry about making excuses for one sideburn too short, one sideburn.
Well, no, I do it by I do it by braille. I do it by braille. I mean, when I get out, I then trim it a little closer because I'm not going to be that accurate.
Alex, I don't know how you do it with a goatee because
I used to. It stops when you get to the hair.
Yeah, and then what you do is after you get out of the shower, you take the razor blade and kind of finish it off and trim it up and everything like that. But now I'm going to be getting this hair cutter, and so I guess once we learn how to use it, there's no need for me to go to the barber anymore.
Piece of
Get
cake.
a Flowbee, Alex.
Huh? Yeah, the Flowbee.
Get a Flowbee.
I don't think the Flowbee gets that close. Does Flowbee get that close? What is that the one that hooks up to a vacuum cleaner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got different.
Yeah,
heads on
but now with the Dyson, you can't exactly use that. Although,
Yeah, it'll suck the gray matter out.
The suck-o-matic. Yeah. How you doing there, Jeff? Jeff's been very quiet tonight. Been very quiet.
Very good.
Very quiet.
I trim every day.
Really?
I know you guys can't believe it.
Well, you have a great beard.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm jealous of you because I try to grow out here and it just doesn't all come in right, And if I could grow one like yours, I would have one like that because your beard is just phenomenal.
Yeah, I tried it in my 20s, and then there were like spots that didn't fill in. And,
yeah. That's why I don't do it.
Yeah.
Mine got all white, so I was like, enough with it. It was thick, but I didn't want it white.
Really? Okay.
Kevin's really 29. The beard makes him look.
Well, I was going to say another great beard is Kevin's. I mean, Kevin's got a great beard, but it's also made him money for years too.
That's right.
Christmas time.
I'm thinking about shaving
this year
today.
either, I guess.
Can you imagine no Santa this year?
What?
There'll be no Santa this year, I'll bet.
There'll be no Santa this year.
Yeah. You can't,
You can't sit on his lap.
Yeah.
That's true. You imagine if you do it.
I just don't understand how anything that we
charge twice as much.
How many of you watch like an old TV show and a bunch of people standing together and you go, "Whoa, that's not right." All of a sudden,
I'm starting to. Yeah,
I don't like it.
Yeah, but I mean, I just don't know how we're going to get back to the way we were. I don't think we are. I think we are going to have to alter our whole way of living.
Yeah. You know, I being downtown today, I'm saying to myself, you know, it would be really nice to make reservations at a restaurant for Mother's Day. But, you know, I saw Morton's, which is a steakhouse, and Morton says to go, that they're doing meals to go. So
yeah. That's cool. That's an idea.
Yeah, Morton's, and bring it home.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Morton's
but you know
makes a
something,
nice
I got to
steak.
tell you, we order dinner. We've tried a couple times from this restaurant that we go to in our neighborhood, and what they do is they make it up, and then you go over and pick it up. Okay, either that or did we? Oh, we picked it up this time. Did we pick it up? Oh no, now you have to actually you have a company. They have a company that delivers for you for them.
Do you trust those guys?
What?
You know, they're not going to.
I do.
You know, you remember Larry David's show where the guy was eating his shrimp? You know?
Oh, I did that all the time when I worked for the Chinese Food Express in San Rafael, California, and I was delivering the food, and we had a staple opener, and then a staple gun we would take with us on the trip, and then we'd eat a couple of the fried prawns, and then staple would come right back up.
Oh my God!
And the funny part was the guys who ran the place gave us all the food we wanted, but no, we had to steal some of it from the bags we were taking out to these people.
I used to do the same thing. I delivered drugs for a drugstore back in the day.
I thought you were drug dealing. Anyway. Drugs for a drugstore? Yeah.
Yeah, I used to drive their car around and go deliver drugs all over the neighborhood.
Ray Renati, I don't think we can get you on here, but let's see. Let's see.
Jackpot,
This is playing it dangerous because if I put them on, are we going to be able to see? Ray, would you please show us your picture? Camera. And Dave Shuck is calling. I can't do Dave. I'm sorry. Are you there, Ray? Ray? Are you there?
Yeah.
Ray?
See his hand.
Ray's always got some kind of technical problem.
He left.
Okay.
He left.
Yeah, and Dave Shuck, I would love to have you on, but you know that means putting on two more people, and kind of what it does is it screws up Skype. Skype has a problem with that.
What do you do after a jackpot?
Zoom doesn't.
What do I do after a jackpot?
Is that mother load?
Mother load, yeah.
Money and leave.
Yeah. We have a bunch of
Circuit breaker.
My logo for that is some sperm. Yeah.
Did you hear they're finding COVID in sperm now?
They're finding COVID in sperm.
Yep.
In sperm, yeah, I saw that.
Well, so much for watching porn where so much for watching porn where she swallows it. You know.
Not anymore.
Yeah, but who thought to look there?
Yes.
And they said I was a sexist.
Yeah. Oh boy, what are we into here? I mean, our whole lives have just gone. To begin with, the NFL is saying we're going to have practice. We're putting our teams together for this year. What are they thinking? You know,
they put out the schedule for the fall.
They put out the schedule for the fall.
Anyway.
Yeah, tell me about that, Charlie. They put the schedule out for the fall, and
it ain't happening.
We'll see if any games are played.
What is it? A wish list or something? Is it a
games? I'm excited, but I mean, I want them to play.
It isn't so much. It isn't so much a wish list as it is a bucket list.
These players,
you know,
are going to be getting some sort of minimum salary. And do you think that they're going to go on bread lines and starve? You know, one guy, he's making $25 million a year, and then all of a sudden he gets paid $235,000.
My heart's breaking for him. If he didn't save some of it, screw him.
How's he going to get by those 3 months?
Yeah. I mean, what's going to happen to sports? It's going to be a while before they can figure out how to handle that one. And then movie theaters, forget it. They're through. They're gone.
Oh, you know what I was reading?
How are they going to open colleges?
How are they going to open colleges? Exactly. Well, they can do college by, video.
Yeah, and they're just what they're going to do. I was talking to some of the colleges that I work with, and they're really just going to do they're going to rotate online and virtual. This way they can keep the campus not 50% maybe capacity and rotate people in and out. You'll be on campus, you'll be virtual.
Well, what I heard is that they would do studies on camera. Okay.
Learning online,
and then there are
virtual.
things like laboratories, that they do on campuses, whether it's a theater laboratory or whatever, and everybody there will just work further apart from each other.
Right.
One guy gets a desk, with the burner and everything, instead of two people sharing the burner. You know how they in some of those science labs.
Some programs can that more theoretically based can be entirely online, but there are the practical ones where you need to have them in there. And
the only thing that's wrong with it, and Tony had his hand up, so I want to go to him next. But
you know what I was going to say? I was reading online quickly with the movies. My aunt has a house in Warwick. You know what that's doing? What might do good? They still have drive-ins movie theater.
We have one here.
Yeah, but the thing is, you may have drive-ins may make a comeback, but I don't think that movie companies are necessarily going to be making films to supply them. That's the problem, because they want to supply this whole thousands and thousands of theaters across the country. It's going to be interesting to see how all of this plays itself out and how it changes the way we live our lives.
With the drive-in,
let's see classic movies like
drive-in. The speaker that hangs on your window is the sound. There's no.
No, they have FM now.
They have never. When's the last time you went to a drive-in theater, Phil? Back in 1955.
Maybe.
By 1965 or 70, they pumped it in through your radio.
Yeah, they did. You only AM radios in those. When the last time I went, maybe it was in the late 60s.
FM, and they do it in stereo.
Yeah,
which they couldn't do with those things. And by the way, if you forgot, I worked at drive-in theater, and I can't tell you how many windows were ripped out by people who forgot to take those things off of their window.
Remember Ricky Gervais? He just blasted all of Hollywood for being so insignificant. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, now I think they're going to see how insignificant they really are.
Well, they're going to have to find a new way of distribution, and that's going to be directly to the home. That's going to be it. The big James Bond movie will come out, and it will be released day and date with whatever release they were going to do in the theaters for your home, and that's fine. That's great.
Yeah, which is great.
You've got a 65-inch screen and nobody kicking the seat in back of you.
I have 5 people at my house.
I have 128 inches.
Yeah, exactly.
Greg, we're social animals, though. We need to herd together, and what we get from a movie theater, that shared experience.
That's correct. That is you're absolutely right, Phil. Absolutely right.
Like that,
but still, that's not going to be available to us.
That's
so
right.
5 people, and I'll pay $21 for the movie for 5 people. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Costco popcorn.
Yeah.
Saving money.
Yep, you are saving money in the end. And and now we have by the way, we have HBO Max starting in a few days. So.
How about Rocky Horror Picture Show?
I found out I get it for free though, because I have AT&T service on my phone, so they will give it to me for free. Isn't that nice?
What is that? If you have AT&T service, you get
HBO Max. If you have HBO on your cable system,
I don't have
and you
HBO,
subscribe to it, then the HBO Max is just going to cost. You just put in your password and name for your AT&T account, and you can watch HBO Max. Anyway, hey, that's it for this week. Gosh, it's been fun, and we even talked about stuff that had nothing to do with the coronavirus and had to do with cuts and scrapes. Thank you so much. What a great crowd here, all 10 of you. Wow. Brian and Josh and oh boy, I'm just out of it. Oh, now somebody's trying to call. There's the kid. Okay. Charlie, thank you. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Bree, and thank you, Vernon. Boy, I got them all. I'm not that old a guy, all right? Okay, anyway, that's it for tonight. I want to thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Why don't you give a big wave goodbye to the folks out there, and I will give you a wave goodbye as well. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our citizen panel for tonight. And I don't know who's trying to call, but don't stop it. Stop it. I don't want to talk to you. Okay? How do I get this thing? I'm gonna hang up on you again. They keep trying. I don't understand. Let me see here. Quit Skype. Okay, that's what I want. Quit Skype. There we go. Okay, that's it for tonight. That's all she wrote. Jack Bishop is next. He's here with a show called The Intersection. He'll be taking your calls as well. In the meantime, I will see you again. Let's see here. It's next Tuesday night, 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time. In the meantime, if you see her, tell her to keep pedaling and tell her I love her, okay? Bye.